One of the most common questions I get is, what is the role of a beneficiary designation in my estate plan? I'm Andrew Ayers. I'm a lawyer who works with families and business owners to protect their legacies through planning. In the next few minutes, I'm going to talk to you about the importance of beneficiaries and your estate plan. For me, this issue came quickly to roost when we were dealing with a certain financial institution for my wife and her accounts. She was rolling over money to a new account because she'd started a new job. We got on the phone with the institution. We gave them my name, my birth date, my social security number, all of my identifying information, and told them that I would be the beneficiary on the account. About a week later, we received a letter in the mail with a confirmation of beneficiaries, and not surprisingly, it said nothing on there. You may think that you've got your beneficiary designation correct on all of your financial accounts. However, it only takes 5 or 10 minutes for you to go through and make sure that that's truly the case. Oftentimes, there can be a small mistake, and that small mistake can cost your estate a lot of money. Now, of course, this is not about me. This is about you and your need to understand beneficiary designations. So when you're dealing with an account with a beneficiary designation, that account is not part of what's considered your probate estate. Now, the probate estate is what the court will deal with, your local surrogates court, your local probate court, when they're dealing with your assets and how they need to be divided. Instead of going through the court process, an asset with a beneficiary designation passes directly to the person you designate. It can also be used to put money into a trust. You can designate my revocable living trust, dated October 1st, as your beneficiary. What you don't want to have happen, the most common mistake that I see happen, is the estate of, or my estate. In that case, that money goes into your estate and has to be dealt with under your will or by the probate court. For most people, this is not going to be an issue because they've got their beneficiary designations correct. However, for example, let's say you have a life insurance policy and you were very conservative and took a $5 million policy. But you forgot to put the correct beneficiary designation on the policy. Instead of saying to your wife or to your children or to your other family members, you have it going to your estate. Your estate has now taken in $5 million. And in most places in this country, that may suscept you to an estate tax. So now, instead of your loved ones getting the entire amount of your life insurance policy, they're going to have to pay taxes on it. It's something that many people laugh about, saying, I would never do that. However, it's much more common than you think. It is honestly the most common estate planning mistake I see when I work with clients. It's why when you leave your first meeting, you always have homework, and that homework is to check each account that you have. Check to see if it has a beneficiary designation, and if it does, what is the initial designation and what are the secondary designations. You want to make sure that all of those are correct so they don't disrupt your estate planning needs. Now, there's going to be 2 ways you can get this right. One, you can do trial and error. You can just assume you've got your beneficiary designations correct, you've got your estate plan in place, don't worry about it. Or 2, it's a lot easier to not reinvent the wheel and work with professionals. Your financial advisor should absolutely know who the beneficiary designations are on your account. Your accountant should know what your financial situation looks like and if there's beneficiary designations, especially for tax purposes, if it can be beneficial after you're gone. And your attorney should know that your beneficiary designations have been correctly listed so that they know that the estate plan you put together is correctly drafted. So after hearing all this, if you're not sure about your beneficiary designations, then you can stop this video and go call your financial institutions right now and make sure those designations are correct. And once you've done that, go to andrewmayers.com and click on the schedule a consultation button, and you'll be taken directly to my personal calendar, and we can set up a legal strategy session to make sure that your beneficiary designations are correct and that your estate plan is properly drafted and shows where you want your legacy to go. The beneficiary designation is a small pebble in life, but you don't want it to be one that trips you up.